Morgan here. So I talk a lot about budget preparedness, free ways to be prepared. I have lots of videos on these topics, and I also have a budget preparedness online course at my website down below. So check that out. And I do have, several posts on my website as well that talk about how to be prepared on a budget, with little or no money. And I'm constantly coming out with new content geared towards that budget preparedness because, I have noticed a little bit more of a trend of people who don't have a ton of money, or especially now with COVID, a lot of people have been laid off, they're unemployed, they just don't have the income stream to support, a heavy investment into preparedness. But there's lots of ways to be prepared without a ton of money. Okay, so here are some ideas. First and foremost, skills and knowledge, they take no money. Okay, now I know that a lot of libraries at the time of making this video are maybe closed. Or maybe they don't have access to the internet like normal. I've been seeing a lot of signs like that. Maybe the library's open, but no access to the computers or the internet. A lot of libraries are just straight up closed. But if you know anywhere that has access to a library, or, if you have a phone, if you guys are watching this video, you have some way to access the internet. So, you can get a lot of information just from the internet, okay? Without ever spending a dime. Now, there are, of course, a lot of educational materials that you'll want to invest in, books and things like that. But there are still a lot of really, really cheap books. You can still, a lot of libraries are still renting out books. There's a lot of really cheap books at like Goodwill. At thrift stores and Goodwill, you're going to have to hunt a little bit. It's not always going to be like, maybe, survival related or whatever, but it may, definitely have some topics that will be of interest, repair, or, whatever the case may be. So anyway, look into skills and knowledge and then practice your skills. You don't have to, have a forest behind you in order to practice your skills. Go to the local park. Parks are still open. As far as I've seen, parks are open, at least in this area. Some areas may be different, of course, but parks are still open. And if you just have like a little backyard, there's still so much you could do. And then you can practice skills like in the courtyard of your apartment complex, stuff like that. So just try to practice skills as best as you can. There are lots of skills you can practice indoors, paracord, making kits, inventorying, canning, if you can find jars. By the way, but the jars thing, in the last video, a lot of people saw jars behind me, and I just stumble upon them. And when I stumble upon them, I grab like one case, so that I'm kind of making a little collection. I never, and I'm trying to get like different sizes as well. I can't find quarts. Quarts are almost impossible nowadays, but I'm still finding some pints, half pints, stuff like that. So I try to grab it just when I see it. But it really is just all dumb luck, I grabbed one pint case the other day, and then it's like I went back 2 days later and they were all gone. So it is just dumb luck, right? There are also services available to us even during COVID, places like the food bank and, other services like that can offer you food, clothing, any of those things if you need it. Especially if you're unemployed, we kind of got to throw our egos out the window. There really is no I used to volunteer at a food bank, and so I know kind of how that process works, but there's a lot of donated from farms and businesses and all that kind of stuff. So and then of course donation from the community. And then reach out to the local community. Like if you have if you're part of a church or anything like that, reach out to them and see if there are any services available to help. If you ever are in need of something, go look at the free Craigslist or the free Facebook Marketplace. Go to garage sales. Like if there's something very specific that you're needing or looking for. Just search around at garage sales and thrift stores and things like that, and Goodwill and those places, and you can find really good deals on stuff. It just kind of depends on, where you're looking. There's a ton of budget gear that is actually really good gear and really affordable. So really look for that budget gear, and then, like if you can't afford everything at once, which who can, right? Unless you're super rich. I can't. Every month I buy a little bit, something different, but there's no way I can buy all this stuff at once, right? So I'll save my pennies, I'll write a whole wish list. An Amazon wish list is a really good way to do that, or any wish list, write it down, bookmark it, whatever you're going to do. And then just start going down the line. Okay, this month I'm going to invest in this. And we have to look at preparedness as an investment. And outside of practicing your skills and knowledge, you want to practice your mindset and your physical well-being. Exercising, meditation, good communication skills, practicing all these things cost nothing. Okay, just go walk around your block or jog around your inside of your house with your bug out bag on, right? We have to get creative. Not everything about preparedness costs money. Okay, now yes, there is some investment in certain things, absolutely, but we can also get really creative, and we can also reach out to the community. Reach out to businesses too. Oftentimes I'll go to businesses and say, hey, do you have some pallets that we can have? If they say no, they say no. If they say yes, then we'll take it, right? Just ask. There's really nothing wrong with asking. And like with 5-gallon buckets, the suggestion a lot is to go to delis or, like the Walmart deli or just, whatever, bakeries, whatever, and say, hey, can I have your 5-gallon buckets? Now, a lot of times they'll be like, yeah, sure, here you go. Now, lately I've been hearing, and I've been noticing from myself, that they have not been as amenable lately, maybe because of COVID, transferring, I don't know, but they haven't been as accommodating lately, and they don't have to be, right? You're asking a favor of them to have free buckets, and they don't have to be accommodating to you, but it doesn't hurt to ask. It doesn't hurt to just say, hey, do you have some 5-gallon buckets that you're getting rid of? If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. You asked, okay? There's nothing wrong with asking. You may want to join certain Facebook groups or meetup groups that maybe do like seed exchanges, or have like trade and barter. There's lots of trade and barter Facebook pages. And, of course, if you always need extra cash, just sell stuff. Try to make stuff out of like paracord or whatever, get creative with this stuff, and just try to, make a little bit of side income, as well as continuing to get prepared the best ways that you know how. Unemployment doesn't mean the death of preparedness. It simply means that you're prepping a little bit differently. You may not have as much disposable income as you did with a job, right? As with a steady income, but that's okay. Just get creative and make sure that you are, prepping the very best that you can. Brands and companies have done less coupons lately, but it is still a viable option for a lot of places. Especially, if your local grocery store has a lot of great deals and coupons. Always look in clearance sections, and just always look for those discounts and deals, and then shop by cycles. So, of course, after every holiday, everything is like 50 to 70% off, always try to shop after those holidays, thinking about the future. Like right now, summer's coming to an end, so sunscreens are going on sale. We got super good deals on sunscreen lately. So all that summer stuff, they're clearing it out, right? Sometimes they'll clear out summer stuff at the beginning or middle of summer, right? But there's always sales cycles that you can get stuff for super cheap, okay? Just do the best you can. Do lots of reading, practice lots of skills, watch lots of videos, get engaged in the community, and just learn. Okay, we can never have enough knowledge. So get on the knowledge train. It's just about being frugal. Learning to recycle, reuse, like not being a hoarder, but not necessarily throwing things away just because it looks like trash. If you have a nice jar of jelly that you just used, how could you repurpose that? How could you reuse that, right? So anyway, pinch those pennies and reuse, recycle, and learn, and practice. You're not going to be as prepared as any other prepper. I'm not the same as the prepper next to me, right? I'm not the same as any other prepper, and they're not the same as me. Every prepper's journey is different. So please never compare yourself to another prepper, okay? Just because they may have more doesn't mean that they're happier or that they're more prepared. You're as prepared as you can possibly be, and that's all that matters, okay? The fact is, you can create plans, you can create your bug out plans, you can do mock bug outs, you can I'm going to show you guys how to make a bug out bag just from things that you find around your home. I'm going to show you, a bunch of real, budget friendly ways of doing things. But, to make a long story short, I'm sorry to kind of ramble on this, but, people get in their own heads. They get in their own heads and they say, well, I can't buy, all these freeze-dried foods, so I'll never be prepared, so why even bother? Don't think of it like that. Just do a little bit at a time. Learn and practice and just do and be the very best person and prepper that you can possibly be. Exercise, exercise your body, exercise your mind, exercise your spirit, and just, again, do the very best that you can. Gain that knowledge and practice those skills. So thank you all so much for watching. I'd love to hear any other tips about how you're prepping on a budget while you're unemployed or anything else. Put them down below and in the comment section. I'll put a few links in the description about budget preparedness. And I will talk to you all later. Conquer tomorrow by preparing today. Talk to you later. Bye.